Today on the Happy Wife Mentor podcast, we are going to be talking about communication. Have you ever found yourself thinking, gosh, if we just communicated better, our marriage would be so much better? If you've ever had those thoughts, then today is your day. You're going to want to take a listen to what I have to share with you today. But first, I want to share with you guys a review that I got on the podcast. You guys seem to be loving it so far. That makes me so happy, and I love to see the reviews that are coming in. This review is from Hello Sandy Patterson, and she says, I've been married for almost 18 years, and this is the podcast I didn't even know I needed. I'm so excited for new episodes to drop and learn how to better communicate with my hubby and strengthen our relationship. Jenny does this in such a compassionate way, and I love hearing her stories sprinkled throughout. Thanks for a great new podcast to add to my queue. Thank you so much, Sandy. That means the world to me. If you are loving the podcast and haven't had a chance yet to leave a review, I encourage you to go over to your podcast player on your iPhone and scroll all the way down, leave a review. It helps other people find the show, which in turn helps women to become happy wives, and that's what we're here for. So let's go ahead and get started with the show.
Hey there, and welcome to the Happy Wife Mentor Podcast. I'm your host, Jenny Grimion, certified coach, podcaster, mom of 3, and happy wife of 19 years. I help busy women in their 40s get their spark back in their marriages without any effort from their husbands. If you're ready to get happy and get the love and connection back that you desire, then you're in the right place. Here, I'll share tips and strategies that helped me go from meh in my marriage to thriving and more connected than ever before. Are you ready, friend? Grab a LaCroix and let's get started.
One of the things that I have heard most often when people are reaching out to me about their challenges in their marriages is about better communication. So I thought it would be great to really dive into this. So what does that actually mean? Like when someone says, we just need to communicate better, or I wish we had better communication. What does that actually mean? Well, let's dive into that. So what I believe that we are really looking for when we say that we want better communication with our spouse are these things here. I think we want to be heard and seen. I think that we want to be better understood. I think that we want to feel appreciated for all the things that we are doing. I think that we want to be able to express our feelings without it turning into a fight. Hello, anyone? Is it just me? We want to resolve conflict easier. And I think that we want to have more of an emotional connection or intimacy. I think that's what we mean when we say we want better communication. So I want to give you 3 top tips today to have all of those things that I just mentioned. And I'm going to sprinkle some stories to share with you as well. Number 1, top tip to become a better communicator and have better communication in your marriage is to become a better listener. Yes, listening. So my first tip is just to learn to duct tape. What does that mean? I think as women, when we find ourselves arguing with our spouse or maybe not having the communication that we want, it's because we say the things that first come to our mind without duct taping and just sitting with our thoughts or those things that want to fly off our tongue and just not saying the thing. We don't always have to say the thing. This was so helpful for me just to learn to just be quiet and listen. And what happened when I did that was he started talking more. Isn't that amazing? Like rocket science, right? He can have an opinion that you don't agree with. Have you ever thought that before? This was huge for me. I found that a lot of things that he would say, first of all, I would jump right back with my opinion, which a lot of times, maybe 9 times out of 10, was different than his opinion. And I really never gave him the space to express what he felt about things or what his opinion was on things. And so I just started getting a little more quiet and just letting him talk. Another thing you can do if you feel that you want to say something, but you want to just let him have his opinion, say what he wants to say, you can say, I hear you. That acknowledges that you heard what he said, but you're not disagreeing with what he said. Like I said, you don't always have to give an opinion. I've been married for almost 19 years next week. So, for me, this took a minute, and it might take a minute for you too, but just think about it. you can just listen. There are times when you don't have to say anything at all. And I know this is going to sound a little awkward or weird if you haven't done this or haven't operated this way, but it really starts to open up more conversations because the space starts to be a safer space for him to talk. And you're going to start to hear him tell you things that he probably hasn't told you in a while. So try that. Number 2, top tip to better communication is to learn to be more vulnerable with your husband. What does this mean? Well, a first example would be instead of defending yourself when he says something that you feel is harsh or is disagreeable to you or an opinion that you don't agree with, or if you feel like he's cutting you down in some way, don't defend yourself. You can simply say one word that's going to change everything, and the word is ouch. I remember the first time that I actually tried this. I was sitting on our sofa and my husband was sitting in his chair, kind of where we sit if we're just chilling in the evenings. And he said something, I don't even remember what he said, but whatever he said was rude. It hurt my feelings and it didn't feel true to me. Now, normally in the past, for legit 16 or 17 years, I would have jumped back with a rebuttal to defend myself, kind of like, that's not true because XYZ, whatever it was, I don't even remember what he said again. But instead, I just took a deep breath and I said, ouch. And I got up off the sofa and I went to my bathroom to just take a deep breath, take a bath, and just honestly take care of myself. For the first time, within about 10 minutes, he walked into the bathroom and he said to me, I'm sorry I said that. That wasn't very nice and I shouldn't have said that. Guys, I almost literally drowned in the bathtub. I could not believe it. It was crazy. That had never happened before. That's when I really knew that vulnerability and being able to really say how you feel is a true key to a successful marriage and relationship. And that was just the beginning of it for me. I just wanted to share that with you because it's truly a miracle. I'm telling you, I spent so many years defending myself. Honestly, I had a marriage counselor tell me one time that I should question if he says something that feels like it hurt me. I should say, hey, did you really mean to say XYZ? And that was her way to, help the communication. I'm going to be honest, that never worked. This has worked so much better. Being vulnerable in that way. Instead of complaining that he's always gone, for example, you may have a husband that travels for work like mine does. You may have a husband that has hobbies on the weekend that has some traveling on the weekends, right? Like mine does. You might find yourself complaining because he's always gone. Is it just me or has anyone ever operated that way? Well, instead of complaining about always being gone, how about just looking at him and saying, I miss you, and giving him a hug? That is true vulnerability, and that is going to get you more of what you want and desire versus always complaining about him not being around. Number 3, top tip on how to have better communication, and again, get all of those things that we actually want when we say we want better communication, is instead of complaining, express your desires clearly without expectation, but at least getting them off of your chest and expressing what you actually want. And this is still a challenge for me, I'll be honest. There were so many years that I didn't know what I wanted. I just knew what I didn't want, and I talked about that a lot. I think I generally operated a complaining way with my husband. I just didn't really know any other way to operate. I mean, it was just kind of like when I thought about talking about the day, well, I would just generally talk about things that went wrong that day or, what all happened that didn't go right. And I don't know, that's just how I operated. I didn't really even realize I was doing it. But one thing my husband would say to me was I would complain about something and he would say, well, there's got to be something wrong. It used to make me so mad that he would say that. I would think like, what is he talking about? Well, of course he would say that because I was always complaining about what was not right or what I didn't want versus what I actually wanted to happen. So like, for instance, if you have cooked dinner and you're tired, you're thinking, gosh, I've got to sit here and clean this kitchen up tonight. I just slaved over this dinner and everyone's just going to go off to their rooms or sit in their chair and I'm going to be doing it myself. Instead of grumbling about that, you could say, I would love the kitchen cleaned up tonight. Now, it's not a guarantee that anyone is going to do it, but if you state that clearly, again, using the language of I would love, 9 times out of 10, they're going to get the point and they're all going to start helping clean up the kitchen. At least that has been my experience and it's been magical. Another thing to say to your husband and your children, I would love the laundry to be folded and put away. Well, now someone knows what you desire. Now, how that's going to happen, if he's going to do it, if the kids are going to do it, you don't know, right? But at least you have stated in a way that shares what you would like to happen in a positive way. And they know now what you're thinking and what you would like. It's going to get you so much further than just complaining about, oh my gosh, this laundry is piled up again and I don't want to do laundry. I'm tired of doing laundry. Does anyone else operate like that? Or is it just me? Was I the only one operating that way? Husbands can't read our minds. I know we've heard that and you know that. We know that logically, but how do you put that into everyday practice? If they can't read our minds, then we have to state what we would love. And that is a great way to state your desire, is to use that language of I would love XYZ, whatever you would love. To recap, to have better communication, which in turn is going to help us to be heard and seen. It's going to help us to be better understood. It's going to help us to feel more appreciated for all the things we're doing. We're going to be able to express our feelings without a fight. We want to be able to resolve conflict easier. And then more emotional connection and intimacy. Here are my 3 top tips. Number 1, become a better listener. Use duct tape. It's okay for him to have another opinion than you have, a different opinion. And then use I hear you. Number 2, learn to be more vulnerable. Instead of defending yourself, you can just say, ouch, and you can walk out of the room. Instead of complaining that he's always gone, you can say, I miss you. And then number 3, instead of complaining, express your desires clearly in a way that inspires your husband and those around you to make you happy by using the phrase, I would love XYZ. So I hope these tips helped you today, and I would like to challenge you to practice one of these areas today, this week in your life and in your marriage, and let me know how it goes. You can message me on Instagram at Jenny Grimion, or you can always shoot me an email at coaching@jennygrimion.com. I hope this helped, and I will see you guys right back here next week.
Hey girl, I hope this podcast episode blessed you today. If it helped you in any way, I would so appreciate it if you shared it with a friend. Sharing is caring, and it's the best way for you to support me in this work. I would also love to hear from you. You can DM me on Instagram at Jenny Grimion, and you can also join my free Facebook community at the Happy Wife Club with Jenny Grimion. So, go do something fun for yourself today, and I'll see you right back here next week.